Rusty runs one of the most difficult sections of the kitchen, cooking fish and meat. This young man here has come all the way from Australia. He takes care of the sauce. Here is Simone. He's responsible for sending the new scale. Yeah, his name is Sean. He's controlling the cold starters. On here we have Owen, who is in charge of the garnish, and he takes care of the hot starters.
Three and a half.
Next to Owen is Henry.
Assisting Owen and garnish.
This young man here has done an amazing job in such a short period of time, in under 2 years. He's now running the pastry. And this is Mark, my right-hand man, the chef de cuisine, who controls air traffic control on the pass.
It's coming too far down the plate. Get on about it.
The secret of any talented kitchen or any good restaurant is keeping the mistakes in the kitchen, not in the dining room. And that's something that, you know, rings home 15 times a day. Cleanliness. To see a waiter sat there with, you know, dirt under his cuff or hadn't shaved, I'll send them home. I don't feel guilty. That's what I want, and that's what I'll get. Same with the kitchen. If I don't get a response on a professional front from a cook that has made a mistake and he looks at me as if he doesn't give a damn, then he'll go. I think it's the pits of a job to be in, on a low standard. I think it's appalling. I think catering is one of the dullest, one of the wickedest, one of the most uncivilized trades to be in on a mediocre front. And that scares me. And so I put the fear of God in it. Do something with your life. Get your act together. Learn how to cook properly. Concentrate, because it's a fantastic job to be in when you're at the top.
The poulet noir, commonly known as the black leg chicken, is very flavoursome, robust textured chicken. It's a lot thicker on the thighs, and it has a very thick breast. Poulet de Bresse is something that is a lot thinner, a very fine, refined texture of chicken breast, and of course the legs are half the size. I always insist on taking off the parson's nose completely, because we can actually baste, as you'll see when we're roasting it, inside that will help to impart flavour and come throughout underneath this breast. This one here has been classically prepared. We can't get inside there. Parson's nose is firmly on, and it's a long process cooking these legs to perfection. I prefer the poulet de Bresse. Obviously it's twice as more expensive. A good free-range chicken with a very fine carcass is an essential part of choosing and selecting chickens, because you don't want them to become too tough. Chicken is something that should be very soft in texture and not stringy in taste, and very, very delicate. This is Premier Division of chickens. So the poulet de Bresse is what we're going to roast this morning, and Simon's going to take that one away and put it back in the fridge, please. Thank you.
There you are. So it's the Poulet de Bresse.
Most expensive chicken in London.
Maybe, yes.
But the most tasty.
Yes.
Why do they pluck them just to the neck?
The only chicken with AOC, Appellation d'origine contrôlée, like the wine.
Really?
Yes. You see?
Very good.
And you got the name of the guy. You see, Mr. Verne, we are by it.
Okay.
Then you got the name of the guy who raised it, you know, the farmer. You got the
Sure.
name and the address.
So it's also tightly
With this
controlled.
number. Oh yes, oh yes. They are absolutely free range.
Free range.
They've got a cahier des charges, what they call cahier des charges, which is a certain things they have to do. They have to be outside all the time. They open in the morning.
Is that what Albert used to say when he used to say they used to be happy chickens?
Yes, they are happy
Because
chickens.
they're free.
Yeah, they are absolutely free. If you go to Bresse, near Bresse, and you go in the countryside, and you'll see those chickens in the field. They are
Really?
absolutely running outside, you know.
Free.
And they come back at night, and you know they give them some grain at night.
Will that
but
have an
that's all.
effect on the tenderness of them?
Absolutely. And look at,
But
look at
because
how
it's running,
firm it
because
is.
it's running and it's wild, surely the muscles are getting a lot.
Yes, look at the legs, the size of the legs. Some people are complaining about the Poulet de Bresse because
Legs are
they,
tough.
They say it's too firm.
The leg.
But you know, because they don't know what is a good chicken
Yeah.
anymore, you know, because
Sure.
chicken, when they cook it now, they check a bit, they've got the bone on the side and the meat on the other side,
Yeah.
you see. Those one, you know, you got, if you try to break the bone are really solid,
Tough.
you know, really tough. And the meat is firm, you know, you can see the muscle, you can see really the
Very good.
difference. That's
We
it.
confit the legs now,
Do you?
and we press it inside a train with foie gras.
Really?
Very good.
It's,
We've tasted the confit
No.
chicken. Oh, it's
It-
absolutely amazing.
it's roasting enough to eat.
Oh yeah.
Roasting is fantastic, you know.
Still
Best
okay
way.
to
It's the
eat,
best way to cook it.
Best way to cook it, Poulet de Bresse is roasting.
You not do it Guy Savoy for two people,
They
Yes.
were doing it, but they were just roasting it whole, yeah.
and we used to leave on the feet as well.
Yes, you have to. When you cook a Poulet de Bresse, normally you roast it, you cut the
nails,
like that.
that's right.
You leave that one long like this,
That's right.
and because normally a guy who want to check in a restaurant if it's a real Poulet de Bresse,
Leaves that.
you need to see that. So nobody can take that off, and people should
At Guy
check.
Savoy, the chef used to say, Guy Savoy used to send the chef down to Brest in a van and to buy boxes and boxes and
Oh, yeah.
boxes, and they keep them in the fridge.
Yeah.
But they always used to be, they were also concerned about the colour of them when they roasted.
Oh, yes.
And when they used to put the butter
Yes.
back over the top, they always used to put it through a little chinois.
Yeah.
So the butter was clean
Yeah.
and it gets a beautiful
Yes.
golden
Golden brown.
colour, no little bits on there.
Before going into the pan, I'm actually going to nicely season the chicken very heavily inside, on the bottom. And of course, this is why we do this on a tray, because we don't want the dirty everywhere. But really, almost as if you're over seasoning it. But don't forget, we're going to lose half of this whilst roasting and basting in the oven. A few thyme flowers, which I'm just going to snap them off like that, and that's very fresh and very fragrant. And I'm just going to very lightly, very carefully place them inside there, just to give some nice perfume inside the chicken, because we may use the juices after we've roasted the chicken for a sauce, and so if we actually do use those nice natural juices from roasting the chicken, then they're already enhanced and flavoured with some wonderful thyme. As opposed to just putting it in the oven and expecting it to colour itself, we're going to have a nice hot creuset with some vegetable oil inside, and we're going to colour the chicken on top, which is almost like the opposite way to doing a roast chicken. So, bum in first, like so. And the reason why we're going to colour this first, of course, is to caramelise that skin, get it nice and crispy. Then we're going to lightly saute our vegetables off and add that to the chicken. And throughout the cooking process, we've got the combination of the juices from the shallots, the carrots, and the potatoes. As you can see, it's now starting to colour beautifully all around. Turn it back over the opposite side. The colouring process will take between 3 and 5 minutes to evenly do it all around, and it's important to get the breast on top, underneath the drum, the thigh, and of course the back of the breast. There we are. It's golden brown, it's sealed, it's firmed up, and it's ready now to go in the oven. The chicken is weighing about 1.2 kilo, 1,200 grams, and per kilo it normally takes 25 minutes. So because we sped the process up by actually colouring it beforehand, it's only going to require between 20 and 22 or 24 minutes maximum in the oven. Now that the chicken is actually beautifully coloured, evenly all around. The fat is incredibly hot still. We don't want to lose that, otherwise everything starts to boil and it doesn't roast. We're now going to place that into the oven. Hot oven, of course, because we want to maintain that temperature. And then both hands on the creuset and onto the bottom shelf of the oven, like so. Okay, we're going to have some beautiful potatoes which have just been peeled. They look actually like bananas, but they're desiree potatoes and they've been lightly peeled. We're going to part blanch them and then add them to the cocotte. Around that, there's going to be sat on a bed of carrots which have just been peeled and sliced into almost diamonds really, and we call them a lozenge of carrot. They're very thick, it's very earthy carrot, and we're just going to give them some colour on top and then add them to the chicken as well. And then finally, of course, some beautiful peeled shallots. As you can see, it's very rustic. We've left actually the garnish and the tip of the shallot on top. So we're going to start off by first part blanching these potatoes. And the reason why we part blanch the potatoes in boiling water, of course, is the fact that we can actually give the roast potato almost like a head start. In Paris, we used to do this very similar. Part blanch them, colour them in a pan, and then add them to the guinea fowl or the chicken, and it just speeds up the whole process. Behind that, we're going to have some shallots and carrots, which we're just going to colour. Again, just into the pan, like so. Nicely seasoned. Okay. And again, of course, nicely seasoned. Really want to get some colour on those carrots and shallots. And that's why I'm not using any vegetable oil. I'm using a very rich, fine olive oil, because throughout the cooking process we're going to add the carrots and shallots to the chicken, give the potatoes another 2 minutes, colour them, and then actually sit the chicken on top of the vegetables. A few thyme flowers inside, and then just finally glaze with the olive oil again. Okay, they're now ready to go in to the chicken. So back into the oven. Again, very carefully, just lift out your chicken. Carrots and shallots inside. And of course we're going to just sit this on top and then back into the oven. There we are. Now the potatoes have been cooking for about 3 or 4 minutes now. Out of the water, drained. We don't want to cook the potatoes, we just want to take away that starch and part boil them, like so. Leave them to drain. Thank you, Simon. Touch of olive oil into the pan. And we're just going to very quickly, lightly colour them again. So, again, run round very generous with the olive oil. Heavy on the season. Nicely seasoned. Salt and pepper, and just give them a little Turn. Okay, with the potatoes, I've got some wonderful cloves of garlic, which we're just going to lightly crush and roast the garlic as well. And it's nice to actually serve this and eat it with it, because not only are they going to, you know, add flavour, but once that garlic is roasted, it's very sweet, it's been caramelised, and it's ready to eat. So potatoes are now ready to go with the chicken. Back into the oven. Out. Very carefully lift your chicken out. And then your potatoes in. So, potatoes, shallots, carrots and garlic, and then set this beautiful chicken back on top. I'm just going to now start to pierce the drum each side. Just allow the chicken to start breathing, allow the temperature to penetrate inside the thigh, because that's the hardest part to cook. So I'm just going to open that up, very carefully slice around, and then just open like so. Now that I've opened the legs, I've just pierced the skin. And the reason I've done that, of course, is to allow the temperature to get inside the cuisse. We spoke about this earlier, having this wonderful cooked drumstick and this breast being overcooked. So this is why we're actually doing this. We're opening it up in order to cook inside earlier, to prevent the breast from becoming overcooked. So both the breast and the leg cook together. Naturally, we're going to lose a lot of juices, but the most important thing, of course, we've maintained those juices inside the vegetables, and it's not going to waste. So now it's been inside the oven for about 22 minutes. The most important part, of course, is to every 3 or 4 minutes just give this a very gentle swirl, and this will prevent the vegetables from sticking to the bottom of the pan. The chicken is beautifully cooked. It's nice and moist. The vegetables are just nicely roasted. They're not overcooked, and that's the most important part. And the worst thing that can happen with this dish, of course, is that you don't turn it or take care of it or swirl it round, because you'll see in a minute how caramelised the vegetables are. And this is a beautiful way of having such a fantastic roast chicken for Sunday lunch. And there's no hassle. Everything's timed to perfection. It's all come together at the same time, and you can get on with other things, because this is a meal on its own. Now, the most important part, of course, is I don't want to overcook the vegetables. The vegetables are ready, so I'm just going to take them out and put them onto this little serving tray, because we're going to use that to garnish our dish. And just very carefully take out your carrots, your shallots, because this is where the flavour is. This is the exciting part of the dish. And you serve all the juices. Nothing's gone to mush. It's how proper roasted vegetables should be for Sunday lunch. And just place that to one side. We're going to cut the chicken. Again, don't be scared to, you know, I've got an amazing habit of continuing to wrap my fingers in my cloth, because, of course, we're coming to serve the dish now, of course, and we've got to serve it hot. So first, we're just going to remove the legs, like so. Both legs off. As you can see, when we open them, that's nice and moist. It's not undercooked, it's not overcooked, and the breast and the legs are cooked together, and that's the essential part of roasting a chicken. So, off with the legs, like so, and then with a heavy knife, just down into a drum. This should serve between 4 and 6 of you quite comfortably. The breast, well, knife in the top, running down, and we're just going to slice through, peel off this lovely, moist, piping hot chicken breast, like so. The skin is nice and crisp on the outside. It's obviously incredibly moist in the centre. And as you start to open up that breast, you can smell that wonderful thyme that's been roasted through. There we are. Okay. These juices here, don't be scared just to finally glaze your skin with those juices that you've just sliced. Carving knife, and we're just going to slice the breast into 3, one at the top, one at the bottom. Again, this one here, slice at an angle so we can identify how moist it is. It's incredibly wet, which is the most exciting thing because we're identifying the fact that it's not overcooked. And then, like so. Okay. Finally, just on the bottom, your vegetables. These wonderful potatoes are just cooked. They're nice and tasteful on the outside. You can see the garlic, the shallots, the thyme flowers there. Yeah, this is a dish that is great when you're running around, a lot to do at the weekend, and this is something that can take you half an hour to prepare. Stick in the oven for 25 minutes, and then let me just look at the colour of those potatoes. Delicious. Chicken on top, piping hot, placed around. Some of the drumstick, excuse me, the thigh, and don't be scared just to use these last 2 or 3 vegetables, and then with your juices, just glaze over, just to finally finish off the dish. And here we have a very simple roast chicken with caramelised vegetables, and it doesn't become any simpler than this. Bon appetit.